there, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. And today, let's talk about the Isle of Arran Distillery. Arran Distillery has never been reviewed on the Whiskey Ramblings before, and for this Whiskey Rambling, we do have a rather special Isle of Arran whiskey. This Arran is a single cask which was selected by James McTaggart, the distillery manager, especially for Jan Vissers' 35th birthday. Now I can already see you thinking, Jan who? Jan Vissers is the owner, the sympathetic owner of the single malt whiskey shop in Dermul, which is in Belgium, of course. But not only does he run the shop, he's also a whiskey aficionado, and he is a proud ambassador for the Arran whiskey in Belgium. So it was only fitting that for his 35th birthday that a special Arran would be bottled, and it's this one, a beautiful private cask. It is a 16-year-old. It was distilled in 1996 and recently bottled in 2013, and only 174 bottles are available at a cask strength of 55.7%. And I have to say, when I look at this bottle, it's probably the darkest Arran I've seen so far. This is clearly a sherry cask. Now, I did not really want to open this bottle because it is so beautiful and I want to keep it in my collection for a little while longer. So I practically begged Jan to send me a sample, which he gracefully did. So that means I can keep my bottle closed for just a little while longer. So thank you, Jan. Thank you very much for letting me have this cask sample. Now, Arran Distillery is a rather young distillery because it was only founded in 1993 by Harold Curry, and production only got off the ground in 1995. So basically, this is in 1996. It's one of the oldest Arrans on the market nowadays, 16-year-old. We may expect a 17-year-old next year, and an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old will become a permanent fixture in their standard lineup. But now, this is one of the oldest Arran on the market, especially for Jan's birthday, and I'm quite sure it's going to be a good one. As you can see, it's got this beautiful dark Oloroso color, so it is clearly a wonderful sherry cask that has imparted this beautiful Oloroso color, and it's just not coming down. This must be the most oily Arran I've seen so far. Well, I haven't got that much experience with Arran, I'll be honest. I've had like maybe 10 or 12. So, but still, it's definitely the darkest Arran I've seen so far, but it is very oily. The tears are coming down very slowly in very big drops. So this means I'm going to get quite the mouthfeel, I'm sure. So, a dark Oloroso on color. Now let's find out on the nose what this 16-year-old private cask for Jan tells us. Yeah, this is very expressive. There's definitely sherry in the lead here. We've got all the usual suspects on sherry. Plums, raisins. I even get some fresh figs and red currants. This is very aromatic, very nice, very fresh as well. It's quite spicy. And I don't mean feisty, but there's quite a few spices in there. I get some, well, definitely cinnamon and some cloves. Just a touch of cloves. But I do get some mint, which makes it quite fresh. There's even a touch of eucalyptus in there. This is quite nice. This is quite complex as well. And the sweetness is not just fruit. I also get some roasted almonds. I get some milk chocolate in there. And just a touch of oak. Just a tiny touch of oak. And it's absolutely clean, all of it. This is very nice. This is, I'm actually quite impressed. Well, on the palate then. Well, it's not as, oh, wait for it. Wow. I was going to say it's not as big on the palate as it was on the nose, but, well, the attack was quite gentle, the arrival was quite gentle, but then suddenly it becomes big. It explodes on the palate. It's a bit of a time bomb. It needs a second or two in your mouth before all the flavors come through. But when they do, they are big. The fruitiness is there again, the same fruit as we got on the nose, the dark fruit. But immediately the oak kicks in. There's a big oak lining in there. It's not tannic, but the oak is definitely there, much more so than on the nose. It does give it a slight bitter lining, but it's not oaky at all. On the contrary, the oak is big, but there's more than enough sweetness from the fruits, a candied sweetness almost, that gives it a nice complexity and a nice depth and a beautiful balance. Wow, I'm quite impressed. Mid-palate, there's even some chewing tobacco. Not to be confused with Chewbacca, who is a Wookiee. I mean chewing tobacco. Some walnut skins. So again, this tiny bitter edge, a bitter lining. Wow, this is quite impressive. Let's see what it does with some water. The finish is quite long and a bit drying. That's the sherry cask for you. A bit drying on licorice. Chop and oak, but let's just add a splash of water, because 55.7 is quite big in alcohol by volume. This is good. It can take water on the nose. Sometimes when you add water to a sherry matured whiskey, some sulfur might evolve, might emerge. It's not the case here. Adding a splash of water does give it a better balance, an even better balance, I should say. And it's more bang for your buck. I mean, wow, adding some water really opens it up on the palate. Not so much on the nose, but on the palate. Wow. Wow. I'm truly impressed. Well, this is one hell of an Arran. Like I said, I haven't had many, but this is well, by far the best I've had so far. And that's only fitting. I'm very happy that this cask was selected especially by James McTaggart, the distillery manager, for the 35th birthday of my friend Jan Vissers, the guy who runs the single malt whiskey shop. Quite impressive. And I just wanted to read this out to you. It's in Flemish, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to translate it in English for you. To give you an idea, it's what Jan wrote on the back label. He says, especially for my 35th birthday, Mr. James McTaggart selected this exceptional cask. When I received the sample, tears came to my eyes. I could not lay my hands on a glass soon enough to give it a try, this wonderful nectar. And it was a goosebump moment. This is it, our third single cask of Arran Distillery. Above all, please share this wonderful dram and enjoy life. Slangwa, your proud ambassador, Jan Vissers. Now, I'm not going to dwell on it, but those of you who know Jan know that there's more to it. There is subtext there. And I have to say, Jan, we're all very proud of you, my friend. Well done. Keep it up. I'm not going to go into any details, because I know Jan would not like that, and I respect him for it. So neither will I. But Jan, we love you, well done, and this, sir, is the best Arran to date. So that is quite an achievement, I should say, because you, Jan Vissers, have just achieved putting the best Arran to your name. I wish I could do that. You are the Arran man to my Toshen man, and I hope that one day I will be able to select a Toshen, a Nochen Toshen single malt with the same wonderful, wonderful complexity. Well done, and thank you. And as you can see, I've got some chocolates here. There is actually a reason to it, because I thought this, I know that, well, Jan is something of a cigar nut as well, and he has this recommendation. He says that this should be, the perfect cigar to go with this Arran is the Hoyo de Monterey Epicure No. 2, but I'm not into cigars. I am, however, into chocolate, so I thought I'd give that a try, and dark chocolate with this Arran. sublime. Sublime. And that, my friends, is all for this Whisky Rambling. And I hope to see you again at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings real soon. Until then, may the malt be with you. Bye-bye.